WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day continues. Additional rounds of thunderstorms could cause some issues across the region. I'm tracking them just ahead.
Well, it broke the tops out of these two, and the majority of the weight landed on this end.
People in one eastern Kentucky county talked to us about the damage to their homes caused by severe storms.
How police say they tracked down 2 people now charged in connection to a string of arsons that damaged or destroyed homes around central Kentucky.
WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good evening. For the second night in a row, storms are expected to roll across parts of the bluegrass.
Heavy rain, strong winds, and large hail will all be possible threats tonight. We begin with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey on this First Alert Severe Weather Day.
Guys, everything is calm out there this afternoon into the early part of the evening, though we are focusing on this cluster of thunderstorms that is crossing out of Illinois into Indiana. Numerous counties here are under severe thunderstorm warnings, and several counties are now under tornado warnings. And there is a confirmed tornado right now just to the northwest of Evansville, Indiana. That thunderstorm complex continues to roll its way toward the east, but eventually should start to turn a little more toward the southeast, and that would bring it into the Ohio River counties coming up here in approximately 2 to 3 hours from now, and then into the rest of central and eastern Kentucky. Hopefully by that time it is in weakened fashion. Now, out ahead of this, we've been trying to get a little shower or thunderstorm action to go up. Atmosphere, though, right now is pretty capped throughout the region. That means those showers and storms try to go up. They get to a certain point, and then that's all they can do. We will wait for that energy to our west to roll in here middle and latter part of the evening. Hour-by-hour forecast, timing that cluster of thunderstorms, 9 o'clock into the Louisville metro, and by 11 to midnight or so, we're talking about a weekend ban of some thunderstorms across central Kentucky. Still, though, some of those could be on the strong or locally severe side with some leftover showers and storms around to begin the day tomorrow. If that cluster can hold together, it would be high winds and hail. That would be the primary threat, but you got to keep in mind the ground is pretty saturated given all the rains we've had, so additional heavy rains possible later this evening can cause some local high water issues. Guys, coming up here in just a few minutes, we'll fire up a hour-by-hour forecast that will show some additional strong storm threats into Thursday. That's in a little over 10 minutes.
All right, Chris, we'll see you then. Thank you. Many people in Wolfe County spent the day cleaning up damage caused by last night's severe storms.
Strong winds blew down trees and even damaged some homes, and heavy rain flooded roads there. There was so much damage, Wolfe County schools canceled classes today. Sean Moody continues our First Alert Weather Team coverage.
All these branches here are what's left of what the homeowner said were 2 16-foot logs that came smashing down on the end of this home last night when the storm came through. Now the family's trying to put it all back together.
Well, it broke the tops out of these two, and the majority of the weight landed on this end, which crashed the whole entire roof in.
James Clifford said he and his family were inside when the storm blew through. They weren't hurt, but now they're dealing with all this at maybe the worst possible time.
Well, I was mainly concerned about the baby. We got about 3 weeks until it's due, so now I get to deal with this.
Back in Campton, the damage wasn't as severe, but it was all around. While cleanup crews got all these limbs cleared out, a National Weather Service meteorologist looked for patterns in the debris. He said all these trees showed indications of straight-line winds, up to about 70 miles an hour. Not far from downtown, Diana Blanton was getting her roof taken care of. That wind ripped off a big section of her shingles.
I mean, last night we seen the trees down across the street, and you could just hear them popping and cracking and breaking, but we didn't know what we had.
Now you know.
Now we know.
Even though there was this structural damage here in Wolfe County, there were no reports of injuries. In Wolfe County, Sean Moody, WKYT.
And remember, you can track storms along with the latest traffic with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. You can download it for free in the app or Google Play stores.
Thanks to some teamwork from multiple police agencies, investigators say 2 people have been arrested in connection to a string of arsons at homes around central Kentucky. Police have charged John Roth and a 17-year-old in the case. In the last few weeks, police say 6 homes were broken into before a fire was set. Victor Puente talked to one of the homeowners today.
The man whose home was burglarized and set on fire on Monday says he believes the people who broke in were less concerned with that theft more concerned with trying to burn his home to the ground. One of the owners of that home said he knew there was movement in the case when his wife got a call Tuesday morning from an ATF agent.
It appeared that some of her jewelry had been located, and for her just to drive to Nicholasville, and she'd tell her where to go once she got up there.
Kentucky State Police say 38-year-old John Roth had pawned items taken from that home at a Nicholasville pawn shop. Roth and a 17-year-old male are now facing a couple of charges, but police believe they could soon face more.
We have found property from multiple residences, several of the burglary and arsons.
State police believe Roth is responsible for 6 homes that were burglarized and then damaged or destroyed by fire. They'll be presenting their evidence to county attorneys in Scott, Fayette, Jessamine, Madison, and Garrett counties. Right now, Roth is only charged with receiving stolen property in Jessamine County. Westenhofer says his neighbor saw someone matching Roth's description the morning of the fire.
She said they were just driving really slow, which would mean they would have had to been looking back behind them to make sure the house caught fire, and they weren't concerned about getting away from a burglary. They were making sure that the arson had worked.
When he was arrested, Roth was out on parole after being convicted of arson in Jefferson County. He was sentenced to 5 years but was released in December. State police say when they arrested Roth, they also found a vehicle matching the description of one seen at several of those fires. In Madison County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Police say the 17-year-old faces arson and burglary charges in Madison County.
1 month after Attorney General Andy Beshear sued Governor Matt Bevin, the governor's office faces a new lawsuit. This one is from another Democrat, Speaker of the House Greg Stumbo. Jennifer Palumbo's at the live desk with a story that's new at 6. Jennifer?
Sam, Speaker Stumbo wants a judge to throw out Governor Bevin's vetoes of the state budget because Stumbo claims they were improperly filed. The lawsuit claims Bevin should not have filed the vetoes with the House clerk because the state constitution requires the governor to deliver vetoes to the Secretary of State when the legislature is not in session. The governor's office calls this another petty political lawsuit. Stumbo denies that.
Well, if they're hardline, far-right Republicans, they're probably not going to believe whatever I say. But if you're an average Kentuckian, you understand that I took an oath to uphold the Constitution. I put my hand on my Bible, and I swore to my God that I would do that.
Governor Bevin's office released a statement saying the governor's vetoes are valid and were filed in accordance with the Constitution. This charade is an unfortunate waste of taxpayer dollars. The statement also said while the governor is working to fix Kentucky's financial foundation, Democrats are trying to stop progress by filing frivolous lawsuits. At the live desk, Jennifer Palumbo, WKYT.
Now, if Stumbo's lawsuit is successful, the vetoes would be overturned, and that means that more parents could send their children to public preschool programs, and high school graduates would have $9 million for community college tuition in the fall.
This weekend, a Richmond police officer's sacrifice will be receiving national attention. Officer Daniel Ellis died in the line of duty last November. His name is being added to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. And as Mark Barber tells us, more than 24 Richmond police officers began the trip to the nation's capital this morning.
Packing their bags and finding their seats, Richmond's police officers are heading to Washington, D.C. to honor the one officer who can't make the trip.
And everything has changed around here after you experience such a tragedy like this.
6 months ago, Officer Daniel Ellis was shot and killed while he was investigating an attempted robbery. All 26 of his fellow officers are now driving to the nation's capital to honor him during National Police Week.
When we get up there, and the first thing I'm going to go do is definitely go see his name.
Ellis's name is carved onto the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial, just like his name is etched onto the police station where he served for 7 years.
It's going to be emotional. I mean, there's no getting around that. This is going to be a tough time for all of us. I mean, a lot of guys are going to be reliving what happened that day. I also don't want to forget what happened, the sacrifice he made, the sacrifice he paid for everybody in the community to keep them safe, because he's a real hero.
As the officers drive to D.C., preparing to honor their hero one last time, many in the community where Ellis served are riding along in spirit. In Richmond, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Well, the officers will also attend a candlelight vigil and a wreath-laying ceremony. Other law enforcement agencies in Madison County will help cover Richmond emergency calls throughout the weekends.
They first thought it was caused by someone driving by, but police say a shooting that injured 2 people in Estill County was actually caused by something else. That's in 7 minutes.
Showers and thunderstorms well to our west may impact the region late this evening. We'll time those into where you live and show you what they may bring to town in just a moment. Stay with us.
It's This Weekend, the monthly show at 8th and Schoolhouse Antiques this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's your chance to shop room after room of quality antiques and collectibles from over 70 dealers. This weekend at 8th and Schoolhouse Antiques on Richmond Road, a mile past I-75.
Are you digging a garden? Are you putting up a mailbox? Always call 811 before you dig. It's not just a good idea, it's the law. Columbia Gas of Kentucky.
Can you help me figure out what to plant in my front yard to help our curb appeal?
Sorry, I just started working here last week, so I'm not sure. Hey, can you help her find some plants?
Sorry, kid. I work in the plumbing department.
Can you help me figure out what to plant to help our curb appeal?
Piece of cake. First, you need a few dwarf boxwoods over there. Supplement those with a crate. Take your curb appeal to the next level. At King's Gardens, we share your passion for plants.
Want to drive the #1 selling SUV? Honda's got it with a 2016 CR-V. CR-Vs are KBV's best buy of the year, and they're all fully loaded for $219 a month. Looking for hot technology? Honda's got it with available Honda Lane Watch, forward collision warning, power tailgate, and more. Want CR-Vs for just $219 a month or drive with 0 down payment? Honda's got it this week at your Central Kentucky Honda dealers.
Step right up for something fun. For just $1, the excitement's begun. The game's called Keno, and you can play it in an alley. Or you can play it with your best friend, Sally. You can play it here or there. You can play it almost anywhere. Play with many numbers or just a few. How you play is all up to you. You can put down a little or put down a lot. So what do you say? Give Keno a shot. Just pick your numbers and hope you win, and a few minutes later, you can play it again. Now you can play Keno wherever Kentucky Lottery games are sold. Fueling imagination, funding education.
Quality products, quality service. That's Central Equipment. As one of the top Exmark dealers in the United States, we sell and service Exmark power equipment for homeowners and landscaping professionals, including Exmark walk-behind mowers, commercial grade lawn care equipment, and aerators. And our sales professionals are here to help you choose the right Exmark equipment for your job, with 0% financing available with approved credit. Come into Central Equipment now to see the latest line of Exmark products.
Are you planting a tree? Are you digging a swimming pool? Always call 811 before you dig. It's not just a good idea, it's the law. Columbia Gas of Kentucky.
It's a rather muggy day out there. Kind of feels like something has to give, doesn't it? First alert severe weather day continues right on through Thursday at this point, with additional rounds of potentially strong and severe thunderstorms coming through. Hopefully nothing like what we had last night. Can't rule it out though. Late this evening into the wee hours of the morning. Current temperatures high 70s and low 80s across the entire area. 82 right now Lexington, and we have a little haze that is showing up. It looks and feels the part of summer out there, doesn't it? 52% humidity, 82 degrees. Winds are coming from the southwest now at 8 miles an hour. The muggy factor is actually increasing now from south to north with a little warm front that is lifting its way across the region. Defender radar network, nothing across central and eastern Kentucky. Then all of a sudden you get into this big mess. Cluster of strong and severe thunderstorms that is cruising out of Illinois and into western parts of Indiana. That is not too far away from crossing crossing the Ohio River toward Henderson and Owensboro. And then that line is going to work its way toward the east-southeast as we go through the next several hours. Put this defender in motion To show the overall development of those thunderstorms, several counties are under severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings. Had a confirmed tornado not too far away, just northwest of Evansville. And again, that complex of storms racing its way off to the east and the southeast as we go into the latter part of the evening. Storm Prediction Center has highlighted this particular area for the greatest threat for severe thunderstorms, though much of the area is under at least a marginal to slight risk. I may fudge that a little farther to the north, but hey, we can't really argue about just exact placements by a county or two. 7 o'clock this evening, let's walk you through the latest hour-by-hour forecast. It's muggy and isolated shower thunderstorm is out there. Watch that thunderstorm complex racing toward the east, and by 11 o'clock, what is left of that is right on top of the area. Now watch what happens, how it blows up just a little bit more as it races through eastern Kentucky. So it may be one of those to where it is in a weakening phase, then all of a sudden encounters a little more instability and blossoms again around midnight and then races across eastern Kentucky. Tomorrow morning, it's muggy. We may be at 80 degrees already in some areas at noon tomorrow. Afternoon, now some thunderstorms begin to kick back into high gear with a cold front sweeping across the area. That will finally give us some better weather on Friday. If you're looking for one day over the next week that is just absolutely spectacular to get outside, do some work, mow the lawns that are just right now knee-high, 70 degrees to 75 in most areas, plenty of sunshine. Not going to last too long, though. Here comes another front with some gusty showers to begin the day on Saturday. Saturday's highs may actually come early in the day. We may spend a lot of the afternoon upper 50s to around 60 degrees during that time. And with these additional rounds of thunderstorms coming up, yes, we have the severe weather threat, but let's not let the guard down on the possibility of some flash flooding. It's not going to take much rain for some flash flooding. One of those cases you could probably argue for a flash flood watch for most of the area. Inch 2, local 3-inch amounts over the next roughly 30 hours. Placement on that will vary. It does when you're dealing with thunderstorms, but keep in mind, past 24 hours, we picked up 1 to 3 inches of rain into many areas. We picked up a lot of water over the past couple of weeks. Those creeks and streams already running high. It won't take very much at all to create some local high water issues. 82 tomorrow, afternoon and evening strong or maybe local severe thunderstorms. There's your Friday. Beautiful. And then we go toward the weekend. It turns chilly. It's the middle of May. We may be into the mid and upper 30s by Sunday morning. Say what? Mid and upper 30s Sunday morning, maybe a touch of frost, and then just literally 24 hours later, guys, some thunderstorms and near 80-degree temperatures back in here.
Just jump on the fun roller coaster that is our weather, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Changes from day to day around here. Later this evening, we're going to watch that line of thunderstorms. We'll be here with you to keep you safe.
We know you'll be watching it. Thank you.
Authorities think a tornado that tore through Graves County in western Kentucky yesterday caused millions of dollars in damage. 10 people suffered injuries in the Mayfield area. And the National Weather Service is now saying that tornado was an EF3. It was one of 4 tornadoes to touch down in western Kentucky yesterday. The others were in Muhlenberg, Breckenridge, and Ohio counties. Now, classification of EF3 can bring winds of up to 160 miles per hour. The tornado that went through Mayfield in Graves County yesterday ripped apart many homes and businesses. And many people say after witnessing the damage the tornado left behind, they're thankful to even be alive.
All I know is the tornado come through here. My parents, when I seen them, I just fell to my knees that they were okay.
I'm really lucky to be alive. You don't think about it till you see it on TV, but when you're in it, it makes you think.
Police say that none of the 10 injuries in that tornado were life-threatening. Some witnesses described the tornado as only lasting about 20 seconds, but you can see from the video we showed earlier, it left behind a lot of damage. There's the damage. Police say they have increased patrols in the hardest hit areas to prevent any possible looting. Tonight, state police say charges could be filed after an accidental shooting injured 2 people.
It happened this afternoon at a home on Stacy Lane Road in Estill County. Police say they were first told it was a drive-by shooting, but as they investigated, they say they realized that wasn't true and the shooting was actually an accident. Police believe one shot hit 2 people. They say both people went to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. So far, police haven't given us many details about the possible charges in this case.
Up next with Rob, what's the future for UK's Isaiah Briscoe?
Well, Cal said today he didn't know, but it sounded more like he thought that Briscoe will return. We'll hear what he had to say. And for the first time, Nyquist on the Pimlico track there for the Preakness, which is 10 days off. Stay with us. Sports is next.
First Alert Weather is brought to you by Columbia Gas of Kentucky.
Hancock & More is the #1 leather line in the United States, and Lexington Furniture is having the biggest leather event of the year during the Hancock & More Leather Sale. Lexington Furniture recently bought the entire factory showroom at Hancock & More, which means huge savings for you. Save up to 60% off regular retail prices on the largest leather furniture selection in Central Kentucky. Don't miss the Hancock & More Leather Sale at Lexington Furniture. Premium leather without the premium price.
If time is infinite, why is there never enough of it? A John Deere One Family tractor with Quick Park lets you attach and go. iMatch Quick Hitch gives you more time for what you love, so it takes less work to do more work. Auto Connect Drive Over Mower Deck? Done. They're not making any more land, but there's plenty of time if you know where to look.
Limestone Farm, Lawn and Worksite delivers rock-solid value. Make Limestone your choice for John Deere.
Nancy Jo Kemper, a trusted minister, a single mother who worked to put her kids through school, and now running to fight for us in Congress.
People in Kentucky are struggling. It's time to invest in jobs and protect Social Security, but Washington seems only interested in protecting the very wealthy. It's time to fix this broken system and focus on people once again.
It's time for a leader who serves.
I'm Nancy Jo Kemper, and I approve this message.
One moment while I search roof repair. Sure, I can call Ralph. Calling Ralph. Looking up vacation rentals in St. Bart's. Okay, here are...
Own a new 2016 Forester for only $23,980 at Quantrell Subaru.
Even though I was the one with cancer, it was never only about me. Cancer didn't stand a chance with all the strength and support I had on my side.
At Ephraim McDowell Commonwealth Cancer Center, we're doing much more than treating a disease. We're healing people.
It was a journey, but I was never alone. This is my second family.
Expert care has never been more personal. Ephraim McDowell Commonwealth Cancer Center.
I'm a survivor, and I'm better now than I ever was before. Thank you.
It's Toyota time at Green's Toyota of Lexington during their Toyota Time sales event going on this weekend. 0% financing on 10 different Toyota models, including the new 2016 Avalon, Camry, Corolla, Prius, RAV4, and Sienna, with up to $2,500 in customer cash available. And save up to $5,000 off MSRP on new Toyotas with our Green Saver coupon. Hurry in to Kentucky's #1 Toyota dealer, Green's Toyota.
Great people, great cars, think Green's.
The way John Calipari talked today, it sounded like Isaiah Briscoe could be coming back. Cal said he doesn't expect Marcus Lee to return, but he talked differently when it came to Briscoe. Well into the news conference, Cal was talking about his players for next season, and he included Briscoe.
He just has to show the improvement of shooting the ball, and he really doesn't have to make every shot. You just can't miss everyone. Just be somewhat consistent, and you know what? I think when you see him next year, that's what he'll be.
So you think he's coming back?
I don't know. I say that I don't know. He and I haven't talked probably in 2 or 3 days. I try to give him space. Go work out with these teams and let them tell you and talk to them, and I'm here for them, and my whole thing is got to get better.
And UK releasing dates and times for preseason basketball today. Big Blue Madness will be Friday, October 14th at 7 o'clock. Blue-White Scrimmage will be a week later on October 21st. Kentucky's first of 2 exhibitions, October 30th in Rupp against Clarion, and then November 6th against Asbury. Both are on Sunday nights. All times are 7 o'clock. All games or events will be on the SEC network. The UK softball team will open SEC tournament play tomorrow at Mississippi State against 7th seed LSU. First pitch is at 2:30. UK is the 2nd seed in the tournament and is all but a lock to host an NCAA regional. But the Cats are thinking about a super regional. Beating the Tigers is the first step in making that happen.
That's the goal, and the other reason that ranking is important, because with us to have a bye is a big deal from a pitching staff standpoint. So the fact that we have one day off lets both Megan and Nunley rest a little bit longer. But yeah, it is a big deal. To be ranked is a big deal. To host in front of your crowd, because we have such a great crowd. The Big Blue Nation always shows out for the postseason, and I think that would give us a huge home field advantage. So I feel good about our odds for regionals, and right now we're a bubble team for super regionals. So hopefully we'll make a good run in the SEC tournament, and that will help the selection committee maybe give us the nod.
Kentucky Derby winner Nyquist getting a look at the track at Pimlico this morning, his first since arriving for the Preakness. Nyquist jogged around the mile oval just 4 days after giving trainer Doug O'Neill, owner Paul Redham, and jockey Mario Gutierrez their second Derby win. Nyquist is in Barn D, stall 24, the same I'll Have Another had when he won the Preakness for Redham Racing. O'Neill will fly into Baltimore tomorrow, but won't work the Derby champ. Instead, Nyquist will alternate between gallops and jogs. And the repaving at Kentucky Speedway goes on. The track renovations include new increased banking in turns 1 and 2, along with drainage improvements and additional safer barriers. The new racing surface will be down in time for the 6th annual Quaker State 400. The date, Saturday, July 9th. It'll be here before we know it. Sam Amber, back to you.
Final check of your First Alert forecast is next.
And then on the CBS Evening News, doctors tell pregnant women to take folic acid to prevent birth defects. But a new study claims too much of the vitamin could lead to autism in unborn children.
When you play Kentucky lottery games like 5-card cash, college students all over Kentucky are dealt a winning hand.
Fueling imagination.
Funding education.
Double up on your style with unbeatable savings. Right now, it's buy one, get one free on most suits, pants, dress shirts, ties, and shorts. Plus, all shoes are 30% off. Men's Warehouse. Rise to the occasion.
Hey, man. Who do you think Captain D was?
Captain D was actually regional semi-pro hockey captain Doug LaCour. Fueled by his voracious love of seafood, Doug would punch holes in the ice with his bare hands for a mid-practice snack.
You're full of it.
He sure is, Paul. Full of Captain D's Southern-style whitefish, topped with a special blend of Nashville hot seasonings for our Nashville hot fish. For full meals at just $4.99, it's gotta be D's.
Shake it on down to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for the 2nd annual Carolina Country Music Fest, June 9th through the 12th. The Southeast's hottest music event. Rock out with country music's hottest stars like Keith Urban, Tim McGraw, Florida Georgia Line, plus many more. Sandy beaches, sun-kissed skin, and a can't-miss country music event. We'll see you where the music meets the ocean front at the Carolina Country Music Fest, June 9th through 12th. Book your trip now at visitmyrtlebeach.com.
Shop early and save big during the Memorial Day sale, happening now at Sleep Outfitters. With 0% financing for 5 years and free HD TVs up to 50 inches. This is our biggest sale of the year. Buy now and get your choice of a free TV or free upgrade from a queen to a king on select sets. Free TVs, free upgrades, and 0% financing for 5 years. It's all happening now during the Memorial Day sale at Sleep Outfitters.
All month long, select Good Neighbor Pharmacy brand products are buy one, get the second for 1 cent. Good Neighbor Pharmacy brand products offer affordable, high-quality alternatives with the same active ingredients found in the name brand products.
It's the same exact ingredient.
Visit mygnp.com/1 cent sale to find a participating Good Neighbor Pharmacy near you.
Visit Danville Good Neighbor Pharmacy in Danville.
My dad always said God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, to listen twice as much as you talk if you want to get things done. I moved my office from the top floor to the first floor when I was elected mayor to hear people's ideas. I took their ideas and cut waste, turned a deficit into a surplus, and helped create thousands of jobs. I'm Jim Gray, and I approve this message because both parties have good ideas. It just takes someone to listen.
Double up on your style with unbeatable savings. Right now, it's buy one, get one free on most suits, pants, dress shirts, ties, and shorts. Plus, all shoes are 30% off. Men's Warehouse. Rise to the occasion.
earlier during the commercial, I asked Chris how much sleep he got, and you said not a lot.
So
you've got another night of maybe some stuff coming in.
And maybe one more tomorrow night. You know what? That's the price we pay around here to keep folks safe. We're dry this evening, at least in the short term, through the daylight hours. I think many of us are A-OK. Though we look on your Defender radar network into parts of Indiana and Illinois, look at those severe thunderstorms. Tornado warnings are just north of the Henderson and Owensboro areas right now into southern parts of Indiana and southern Illinois. That thunderstorm complex is working its way toward the southeast. If it can hold together, it would be into central Kentucky roughly 10 to midnight or somewhere thereabouts. And of course, we'll be here to track it all evening.
Here we go again, but it is that time of year, and it is certainly the season.
And it's been quiet until this week.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We will see you back here at 11.
CBS Evening News with Scott Pelley is next.